Hey guys, this is ThePikaWu's choice items Tourney. So all your Pokemon have to be choiced basically. Choice Scarf, Choice Banded, or Choice Specs. And it's NU Tire or Tier. And yeah, here's the battle. So Gligar can't do too much to Hippopotamus. And Hippopotamus is probably banded, there's no point putting a Scarf or Specs on it. So I predicted the Ice Fang, just hoped he didn't predict some sort of switch and go for the Earthquake. So I just went for the U-turn switch into my Metang, but he goes for the Stealth Rock. And it may seem weird locking yourself into such a move, but in fact it isn't, because there's going to be a lot of switching in a choice match. And so that's what's going to happen. You get lots of switches, and you because of lots of switches, it's going to rack up a lot more damage than a normal game. Either way, I get the attack raise, which is very nice. Metang has a decent attack, pretty good defenses for the NU tier. Is 80 defense, 90 defense, and decent hit points. I'm invested in hit points and attack in this Metang. It takes that critical hit, bug bite, probably banded, maybe scarfed, very well. Just does 100 damage and take it out with another Meteor Mash due to the +1 attack. Here, Relicanth is definitely fast, so Metang is not fast by any means. Even though it is quite bulky and offensive, it's not high attack. And here he goes for the head smash. He predicted the switch into the Gligar, which was well played. And here it's definitely banded, since Gligar has pretty good defenses for the NU tier. And though Relicanth does have that base 90 hit attack, and Smash is base 225, it's very powerful. Yeah, I know it's banded, so I'm just going for the close combat. Hope he doesn't have a ghost type, or yeah, even a psychic type wouldn't be able to take a choice banded close combat too well. So that's exactly what I go for. Super effective against Relicanth. Banded, max attack, adamant. It's going to do a hell of a lot of damage to practically everything. He goes into Soul Rock, possibly as Death Fodder, possibly hoping he could survive, maybe getting a choice Scarf Psychic off, but unfortunately that's not what happens. And Monferno is probably my favourite 4th gen Pokemon, just because it's the one I use the most on my first time playing through the game. And here he makes a great play. I predicted the Sucker Punch. Though it is not very effective, Monferno has not very good defenses, similar to Infernape, but worse. And Sucker Punch, though it is not very effective, would do a lot of damage. I'm on -1 defense due to the close combat, even though close combat would take it out. And he makes a very risky play, going for the Focus Punch. And so here is a brief explanation on how to maximize your EVs so they don't go to waste. Okay, so you're putting in 252, which is the max you can of EV investment into attacks. That leaves you with 256 left, and 252 divided by 4, because 4 EVs is 1 increase in stat, is 63. So if you invested fully in hit points to try and bulk up both defenses evenly, it would be 63 over 347 times 100, which is 18.2%. However, if you put in 33 stats over 170 times 100, which is 19.4% increase in your defensive stat, and 29 into your special defense, that's an 18.4 increase. So as you'll see, your defensive stat will increase by 0.8, and your special defense will increase by 0.2, compared if you had fully invested into hit points. And that 33 plus 29 times 4 converts them back into EVs, which is 249, which leaves you 8 remaining, and that also increases your defenses, your hit point percentage by 2.3. And though in this battle, it may have been considered like insignificant, it actually was, because if I had the 18.2% increase and not the 19.4, and Sandstorm would have taken me out it was more likely. It may have not, but it's a lot more likely. However, doing this means that Stealth Rock is taking a slightly more out of your defenses, since you've invested into defenses, and the hit, it takes out more. I can't really explain it. Because you're taking off the same percentage of hit points, but that's also represented by a certain amount of defense. So Stealth Rock does take a bit more of the defense off, but overall it's a much better investment if you work out the percentage increases after HP, and then work out how much you would if you invest in other ways, and then you do that, and back to the battle now. So anyway, I am able to survive with 35 hit points and just go for the explosion. There's no point going for the poison shell. Explosion is my most powerful move. Sandstorm would possibly take me out next turn. I can't really work it out on the spot like that, but that's just what I do. And the Hippopotamus is knocked out, but he does make the great play with that focus punch. He said it was a misclick, which would have been a great misclick for his part, but still a very, very, very good play. I did not expect that, because the risk would be too high for me to do it. Anyway, I predicted something that wasn't a cat turn, because I thought he would predict that I would go into my Monferno. But that's what he does. I go back into my Monferno, predicting the Sucker Punch. And fortunately, this time he doesn't go for the big risk and go for the Focus Punch, since Haunter would have not been affected by it. So I take a bit of Stealth Rock damage, take a bit of Sandstorm damage, and here I'm just going to go for the Mach Punch, just because the Sucker Punch, I know after Choice Band, has a good chance of possibly taking me out. I don't really run damage calculations, but I think it probably could do. Anyway, the Choice Banded Mach Punch is super effective against the Rock Water type Relicanth. Of course, why am I saying what type it is? And it's an easy 2-hit KO. Maybe if I wasn't adamant, it wouldn't be, because Relicanth does have pretty good defenses, but fortunately, it does. And he said that most types were Rock because he wanted that special defense boost, and Cacturn has the... It's not a Cacturn, whatever. The Grass Dark type, it has the ability of Sand Veil, so he has 20% chance of... I have 20% chance of not hitting him. Anyway, I go into the meta, I'm predicting a Psychic, or hopefully didn't go for the Earth Power, since often they do carry the Earth Power. Then I could switch into my Haunter and take it out with a Shadow Ball and or explode or something. I pretty much knew I had the game here, since his Dark type would die to the Mach Punch, and the Lunatone would die to Shadow Ball. And I still have a Politoed left in the wings, which he has not seen yet. So I go for the explosion. Fortunately, it does hit. The Sandbell does not kick in. And, of course, Banded Explosion is incredibly powerful, and Metang is definitely viable in the NU tier. So the Sandstorm is continuously raging, and he has his final guy. I have Haunter, Politoed, a couple guys left, and something else, I think, and Monferno. So Monferno could do decent damage with U-turn. Politoed, of course, can surf, Spec, super effective. It's gonna take it out even with the special defense boost of the Sandstorm. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the battle. His channel will be in the description, and I will see you in the near future.